Hemp Boca. Products of purest natural ingredients and providing a safe alternative method for relief from many symptoms, creating a healthier lifestyle without the use of opioids. Use Hemp Boca products for improved mental health and overall well-being. It's safe, legal, and non-psychoactive. Our pure and high-quality CBD is from clean industrial hemp, then extracted slowly over days to produce the strongest and most effective products on the market, made in the U.S. with no synthetic ingredients. Committed to bringing our customers the highest grade CBD oil on the market. Our industrial hemp, it's organic with no solvents and pesticides, gluten-free, vegan, full spectrum, and third-party double lab tested. Our top priority is your health and wellness, and we are confident you will love our products and the amazing relief so you can enjoy the things you love to do. Try our products and start living a healthier lifestyle. Hemp Boca. Good health and good sense are two of life's greatest blessings.
One of the key principles we like to teach our members at Phil's Stock World is be the house, not the gambler. Stand around a casino, and every day you'll see thousands of people walk through the doors and play various games of skill and chance, and yet none of them are likely to ever be as rich as the person who owns the casino. That, over the long run, the odds are always in his favor. This is not gambling, it's a mathematical fact. How would you like us to teach you how to use this simple mathematical concept to turn investing from gambling into earning by teaching you to be the house? This is the key to learning how to be a true investor in the stock market and not just a hapless trader of stocks. Or, to sum it all up, we'll teach you to be the house and not the gambler.
Welcome to the Hemp Boca Show. We are broadcasting live from Delray Beach, Florida, in this beautiful gallery. Can't get enough of it, right?
No, I love being in Florida. Well, right now it's like 118 degrees.
Well, I'm talking about the gallery, Jean.
No, it feels like that in here.
Unbelievable.
I have this jacket on. Welcome, everybody.
Yeah.
Yes, to the Hemp Boca Show. Another beautiful Tuesday.
I know.
Sunny Florida.
I know.
No,
We've been having rain every day, but today's been good.
So far.
Time.
It has.
Don't jinx
like
it.
Round 4.
We had a good show today.
Yes. Well,
but
we had a great show last week, Tuesday at
Yeah.
Mad Robot Brewery.
Yes.
It was a great show. Thank you to Dr. Dave Bougie that came out and supported us.
Jesse and
Jesse.
They're actually going to be with us the second Tuesday of every month.
Yes.
And it's great because Dr. Bougie is going to come on and discuss. He's going to pick a topic, and he's going to kind of tie that into CBD.
Yes.
And how and what his experiences are and patients' experience, and I know that we're going to give him enough notice. He's going to have patients come on. He's going to have other doctors come on and really share their view on CBD and how it is helping and how it works in the human body, and it's very educational.
And also, right now we're in the process with you and Jesse are now trying to come up with a patient survey on CBD. Right.
It's for a couple of different projects, right? That we're using for, but it's a great.
I'm sorry.
It's a great.
I'm seeing. I don't know if something's wrong with me or not. Maybe it's the heat of the light. I'm seeing
Yeah.
checkers.
Am I transitioning?
Checkers. Like the lights here. I'm seeing checkers.
Oh,
it's great.
That's that light. Yeah.
I got a bunch of
everybody
squares. I've got a bunch of squares on me.
It's burning the image into it.
And let's play some tic-tac-toe.
If you swirl your head around, you get streaks.
I know, right?
It's fun.
But we have Dr. Rashida
great
Faid Douglas from Hands of Healing. Thank you for being here. We appreciate it. And we also have Miss Susan Lee Mintz. We haven't seen in a while. An old friend of ours. HIV activist. But you're going to disclose when in a little bit exciting things. It is way off topics that we've
exciting things
we've discussed before in the previous with you and known you up.
It's
But
original,
exciting.
very new.
Yes.
Yes.
Very good. And of course,
the one and only
Mr. Phil Davis.
of Phil Stock World.
Friend, family, partner from philstockworld.com. Of course, Phil's here. He's going to update us on some stocks and some educational material and how the Hemp Boca portfolio is doing.
Yeah, it's
And
exciting.
and of course, Gene and I, we have some updates and some other things that we'd like to share as well. So
Yes.
But
So-
so how was tell me about the week? I mean, how things are going with work
Well, it's-
and different projects working on.
Well, as you know, it was my birthday on Saturday.
Yes. Well, happy
Had a
birthday
great
again.
time.
Yeah. So it's
Had a great time. Thank you again for setting all that
Oh,
surprise up for me.
you're
It
very
was-
welcome.
I was very
I
surprised.
was grateful to be there, and we have some wonderful
And
friends.
thank you,
and
Marika,
family.
Marisa, Colin, my dearest youngest son, Phil, being there, and
Yeah.
Joe, and
My cousin
Eve.
Joe, and right, and his friend that evening, Eve. So we
Yes.
appreciate.
Lots of fun.
Yeah, it
Lots of
was
fun.
good. And the weather held up too for you. Too.
Yes, and also thank you to my aunt Lily Sue, Mama Sue at Talay Thai.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
that beautiful cake. Who bought that cake? Did you pick that out?
Yeah, well, I
You
worked
did?
out with Charlie, and they
Oh,
were like,
so they okay. Yes, thank you, Charlie,
yes.
my bro from another mother.
Yes. But yes, if any of you have not tried, you love Thai food, go to Talay Thai in the Palm Beach Gardens. Fantastic,
Yes.
fantastic food.
And tell them that Jean and Chris from Hemp Boca sent you.
Yes.
And they would take great care of you.
Yes, they will. So, every time you go there, it's just consistent. Food has been
Absolutely. It's like
consistent.
it's a big family. I've spoken to some of the the employees there. Like some of them have been there since they're in high school.
Yeah.
And now they're like in their late 20s, early 30s, 40s.
Goes by, time goes by
Yes,
fast.
long time.
Well, Mama Sue, they treat their employees very well. It's more like family there.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
so
it
that's why,
is.
in return, they get the loyalty.
Yes. And you know what? I want to talk about our exciting products.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Did a great
I'm-
job on the packaging.
Thank you. And
Well, there's a reason why.
It's not-
Explain why we had to come out with new packaging because of the new, change in laws and stuff.
this is our body butter, the best. These two top selling products right here, the body butter and the massage oil.
Yeah.
This new packaging, we used to just sell it without the boxes, but I'll show you the packaging without the box, what it looks like. Well,
yeah.
right here.
Which was kind of the original, but we changed the labels too because that's
Now
when,
we have gold lids.
Well, we have the gold lids coming
yes.
out.
Yes,
right?
that's gonna be coming out.
But it's important for the viewers to know about why we immediately change the labels every time there's new regulations and stuff.
yes,
We do not
yes.
wait until the end of the year. As soon as we find out that there's some things, statements, whatever it is, disclaimers, warnings, we immediately implement them for you as a consumer, and to also for us to stay in compliant.
Very
so it's very,
transparent.
very, very important to us. But yeah, nice job on those. And slowly, as we, with other products and stuff, we'll have new packaging like this, going forward. But it's just,
Right,
there's a
right.
lot involved. So
Oh
great.
yes.
Kudos.
Yes. A lot of
Kudos. And if you're interested in buying any products, you can go to hempboca.com. We are now offering a 10% discount for the full 1 hour of the show. So anytime you purchase from 2:30 to 3:30, or during our show, you get a 10%, and you just type in the code "Stay Healthy." So when you get to the shopping cart, you just type in "Stay Healthy" and you get a 10% discount.
Is
It's
it all
free shipping.
lowercase?
Huh?
All lowercase?
Yes, it's all lowercase, but it really doesn't matter. But it's all
Okay.
good.
Just want to make sure.
It's a good question. That's a very good question. So let's bring on Dr. Rashida Faid
Yes.
Douglas
Welcome.
from Hands of Healing.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for being here.
Hi, thank you
We
so
appreciate
much
it
for
very
having
much.
me.
And please, if you can, just give a brief bio of yourself and and then kind of what is Hands of Healing and your mission.
Well, my name is Rashida Faid, and I've been in Boca about 9 years. And I started to do like Reiki, about 5 years, and it was a way, like a modality, for healing. It's an
Mhm.
alternative way, and I know you're doing like CBD, which is really a lot of my clients actually recommend that they like trying to wean them off a lot of pharma because sometimes it has effect on them.
Right.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
so when
Yeah.
they
Yes.
use products like this, it's really it does
Helps
help
them.
them a lot. And so for Reiki, basically it's made up of two words, Rei and Ki. So Ki is like Chi. So Rei is like God or the higher power or the infinite mercy, the creator, whatever you want to call it, Allah, Hashem, Elohim, Allahatu, like Jesus, but that's higher power that's there, that's available for us. And then the chi is that energy that we can experience. So the healing for the Reiki is to help people really align with the divine and know that they can have balanced energy when they have blockages, emotional hardship, when they have any type of blockage. Could be financial problems with the relations, health issues. It does help them to relax. People, they become stress-free, and it helps people really open up, new possibilities, and really be more responsible and understanding that they are not victim, so
Right.
that they could, find the power within when they align with that divine power.
Sure.
So that's kind of the definition. And the one that discovered this, it was kind of although it's an old modality, because there's so many different ways of healing, hands-on healing, and we have medical intuitive and hypnosis. There's so many ways to heal people. In the session of Reiki, it's the search for the physical healing, but also spiritual healing. So when we have the session, we are helping people open up and balance themselves and change their behavior.
Is it a form of meditation?
It's actually
would
what
you
happens.
describe?
People would just relax, and then actually it's really like they go in a state of hypnosis, and hypnosis is kind of a birthright. We get have that experience just from zero, when you're born, until you are 7 years old. You are in this state of hypnosis because you get a download of programs and suggestions from your parents, from the environment, from babysitters, from the brothers, etc. But that's kind of state of hypnosis is whatever program you get, that's what you start to act as an adult. Therefore, when we have problems and in the relations, we suffer so many times, and we don't know why I'm behaving this way. Why am I sabotaging myself? Why this is happening? And also even like sometimes even building, like really creating disease, and creating sickness, and because or being accident prone. Those are all part of the program. And so when we do Reiki session, it's almost they're relaxed, they close their eyes, and then we don't have to touch physically, because just we are one in terms of energy. There's no separation. It's only our left brain that actually separate us. So when I see you, like when I'm looking as an energy, we are connected. We are one heart, one humanity, one big soul, and we are all connected. So when the person is there, what I do is, or the Reiki master, you bring in that divine energy, and it goes through the chakra, which is the top chakra, and then it goes through your hands. So the hands always really, they have amazing energy. People who do Killian photography, they could actually see the energy, that's being transmitted to the person.
Wow.
So once you touch the person, whatever there's the imbalance actually gets balanced. So that energy gets,
Where did this
start to
originate
flow.
from? Like what?
Japan.
Japan.
Supposedly with Dr. Osho, who was a dean, I think in the 1800s. At that time, Japan was open to Christianity, although they were Shinto. So they had Christian missionaries, so he became Christian, and he was a dean of this university. So one student asked him, he said, if Jesus Christ said that you can heal, you all can be healers, and actually you're going to be doing to his disciples, that you're going to do something better than me or greater than me. And then so he kind of was a challenge for the professor. And then he had to resign, like what I did. I resigned my work. I was a professor at FIU. I trained teachers, So that's my work. I train teachers, and that's my background in applied linguistics and foreign languages. And so he left, and then he went on this quest, figure out, to answer this question. if Jesus said that, and not only Jesus, but it's actually Buddha and Muhammad and
Yeah.
Moses,
All the masters of the
all
world.
the masters of the
Mhm.
world. And so he started to go, look for different places. He went to Zen Buddhism, went to Hindu temples, and then he ended up going to Tibet. In Tibet, there were some Tibetan scrolls, and that's where he found Reiki. And when I did like deeper research, I found that Reiki actually, the way it used to be written is Rekia. And Reiki in Arabic, I'm a linguist, so I love this stuff. So Rukia means to raise the vibration, is to purify and to really help, and that's exactly what Reiki means. So he went, to this mountain, and then he had like 21 days retreat in the mountain, fast, and of course at the 21st day, he had this revelation. So then all the signs come down. So like the signs, this is like the Chukura sign, and then you have the Hiki sign, and then you have the Daiko sign. So these are like different signs that came down to him, and he used them, for healing. So those are kind of, Reiki masters, they either write them in their hands or you have them, in there. So it's kind of use these. But when you look at the essence of this is just understanding that you're bringing, you're that fountain of love and mercy and
bringing peace into your
and
life.
peace. Yes, the
Yeah.
shalom, salam. So shalom, salam. That's what you're bringing actually to people who are suffering if they have issues, and that's what he was doing. So he would be helping people, and they called the beggar square, and he would be helping them, but would realize that they would come back. Some people really their life changes, but then they come back, because he gave it to them for free. So then he was like, okay, I think there should be an exchange of energy. People have to give back. They don't have to give money back, but they
Right.
have to give something. So and that's really, then he started teaching, and then he had people like I think one doctor who was he was the one that created the first Reiki clinic in Japan. And then there was a Japanese American who came to Japan because she was very sick. She was dying actually. So then she ended up she was healed and all that, and she said, I wanted to learn. So then she learned that practice, and then she brought it back in America in the 40s. So that was kind of the start of the Reiki in the United States.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
How can viewers and listeners can connect with you? You have a website, you have a phone number, you have a location of where these sessions.
I actually, I'm a traveling healer.
Well, actually, you just came back from Malaysia.
So I travel a lot. I don't have like an office. I have a back space in my house. Like half of the back side of my house is dedicated for people, and I have everybody come to my house for healing. People actually stay in my house for healing.
Is this your book?
No, this is somebody else's book.
Somebody
I
else.
have other books, but not this one.
So how can
So
people connect with you?
So it's it's Hands of Healing, and I'll give you a phone number.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
561-479-8626, and I'm
So
always-
handsofhealing.com. Is that the website
Oh, you
that
have a
you
website.
go on?
Great.
the website. It's not, I don't do advertising, so
Oh,
I really,
that was more
but it's
No
okay.
problem.
Really, I
No.
mean, it's always word of mouth, and I appreciate
Right.
this really. And, no, seriously.
It's not very capitalist here. You
No,
know?
no, it's seriously. I'm just
Very,
like-
very,
You
I
can't
live in
just
the
go
old
around
world.
helping people.
I do,
very, very
I do.
casual.
I do.
This
Yeah.
is America. Come on.
No, I go get paid too. I do get paid, but I go like a sliding fee, and I take every kind
Yeah.
of exchange.
But I'm saying you got to do
Really?
marketing.
Well,
you
what is
got to
your-
have marketing.
So can we repeat
No, I
your?
agree.
Let's repeat your phone number.
It's
and-
561
yeah.
479-8626.
Okay.
Thank
So we're going to go to a commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to bring on Susan Mintz and then Mr. Bill.
Bring
So,
whatever you have
the
laying
Hemp-
around the house, and she'll
Yeah.
heal you. You know.
It's the Hemp Boca show. If
So you
you're-
can go on our website, hempboca.com,
you're
also
getting
to
healing
see our
right
new
now.
packaging and products. So we'll be right back.
Thank you. We'll be right back.
Experian Travel, a subsidiary of Cruise Planners Travel Advisor, is merely a selling agency and makes no warranty expressed or implied. Each Cruise Planners is individually owned and operated. Experian Travels and Cruise Planners, an American Express travel representative, has a tremendous reputation for quality, service, and a very competitive pricing for all of your travel needs. Our travel advisors will help you discover exciting adventures around the world, from cruises to land tours and completely packaged vacations. We specialize in all types of travel and will create an unforgettable vacation just for you.
One of the key principles we like to teach our members at Phil's Stock World is be the house, not the gambler. Stand around a casino, and every day you'll see thousands of people walk through the doors and play various games of skill and chance, and yet none of them are likely to ever be as rich as the person who owns the casino. That, over the long run, the odds are always in his favor. This is not gambling, it's a mathematical fact. How would you like us to teach you how to use this simple mathematical concept to turn investing from gambling into earning by teaching you to be the house? This is the key to learning how to be a true investor in the stock market and not just a hapless trader of stocks. Or, to sum it all up, we'll teach you to be the house and not the gambler.
Welcome back. This is Hemp Boca Show with Gene and Chris. We are here with Mr. Phil Davis from Phil Stock World.
Susan Lee Mintz.
Hello.
How are you, Susan?
And
Back again,
Dr.
only
Rashida
with-
Fayed.
Wearing a different hat.
So it's great to see you.
Good to be here.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
We've all been busy. All been busy.
I hear you have some exciting opportunity that you want to share with the world.
Yeah, and I couldn't be more opposite than Dr. Faid because she doesn't have a website. I'm plastered everywhere, email, website, YouTube. I mean, any way you want to find Susan Mintz, you can find me. I'm in your directory everywhere. But no, I have something new that I'm doing that is very impacting the community. So ask me.
That's great.
Ask me again.
Well, we know you're a big HIV activist. We know you're an author. You know, so, and we know you have an incredible story about the love of your life for many years with AIDS, and you volunteering in hospice because of your personal experiences. So we, you know, beautiful background, wonderful experiences, stories, and you're always trying to find ways to bring awareness about HIV and AIDS, but also just help people. And we know this is kind of a surprise to us. You had taken on a new venture.
Yeah.
So we would like, you know, if you'd like, you can caveat right into your past experiences, what you're really known for, and then get into
I will.
Your passion now.
Your passion now.
My background was as a dental hygienist for 20 years in 4 states. So my background for oral health was extremely important. My husband, whom I was married to for 25 years, my best friend, and I was married 25 years. I've been a widow 25 years, and I'm staying one. But the interesting thing is that he was a bisexual at a time in the 70s or the 80s when we didn't know much about HIV, which we certainly do now, but here it is 25 years after his death. I keep hearing from God, and I'm so glad this show is very spiritually based, because I hear from God in my heart, whether it was to stay with Jeffrey through the rough times, whether it was to be involved with AIDS since 1981 when I first heard about it, whether it was to be with hospice helping out. No matter what aspect of HIV, I've always been in the community dealing with it. Because I believe unless you get to your community first, I can think globally with a movie. I can think globally with books. I can think globally in here, and greater work shall ye do, as he said, right? As Jesus said, greater work shall ye do. But I can also think that until you want to be global, you also have to be local, because payback starts at home. So for me, while I wait for the great deal, I have to do all these little deals in between. And it was in March. I was in bed by myself, of course, and I closed my eyes and I saw battery-operated toothbrushes. And I heard God say to me, That's your background. So now I start this conversation with God and saying, okay, so my background is in oral hygiene, HIV, that. And then he said, your husband died from HIV, AIDS, pneumonia-related AIDS, AIDS-related pneumonia. So he said, I want you to, so specific, he said, I want you to go out and purchase battery-operated toothbrushes and distribute them amongst patients in the Palm Beach County Dental Department who go under the Ryan White Assistance Program, and give them out at their dental hygiene appointments. And I processed it and realized it made sense. My background, my having to take care of my magnificent husband's mouth, his smile was infectious, literally. He could light up a room with his smile. I think my teeth are good. He had gorgeous teeth. And so I had to brush his teeth for him at the end. I watched his smile deteriorate. He couldn't hold a toothbrush. So it all fell into place. And I said, oh my God, my background is in oral hygiene. I took care of a husband who died from AIDS, who could barely open up his mouth and be able to speak, never mind brush his teeth. And then I called my best friend, who at that point was the teacher trainer with the health department, Rob Scott, and I said, Rob, I got to start buying battery-operated toothbrushes for all the dental patients through the Ryan White Assistance Program at the dental department. Well, I hit him with that one within 5 seconds, and he knew right off the bat what I was dealing with, because when I say I'm going to do it, I do it. And the reason I wanted the dental department in Palm Beach County is because there would be transparency, accuracy, and if I'm going to be buying hundreds and hundreds of toothbrushes, I don't want them going to everybody that comes in and just does whatever they want. He put the paperwork through Tallahassee, so I'm a part of the Florida Health, so you can always go to their website, the Florida Health Department's website, and they got all the paperwork through. I met with Dr. William Scott Staten, who was the dentist, and the public information officer, and we evolved. And then my friend ordered them. They come from Arm & Hammer, Dollar General. We get them at $6 a piece. They're battery-operated toothbrushes. So far, I've purchased over 200, and by the time January 1st comes, I will have purchased 550 battery-operated spin brushes for the dental patients who are HIV or have AIDS at the Palm Beach County Dental Department. And then it will continue next year. And with a sponsor such as Arm & Hammer, who are on this product, or Dollar General, who we get these $6 toothbrushes from, or Johnson & Johnson, or Colgate-Palmolive, or anybody, car company, Subaru does CNN Heroes. I mean, I don't care at this point, but I'm doing something for our community that's helping people who are some of the most of the lower income, don't have private insurance, don't have dental insurance, and their dentists are making a fortune. Private dentistry is making a fortune, and if they can't even give out their own little toothbrushes that cost $1, they can afford to give out these. But in the flip side is, I don't care what other people are doing. I know as a widow on a very fixed income, I'm able to do this for my community. There is somebody out there that wants to get in to be a partner on this. Mm-hmm. I can be your spokesperson, being a hygienist. Can they reach you? They can always reach me through SusanMintz.com. Mm-hmm. And on there, on my website, SusanMintz.com, the first link on there is the health department site, the health department article that has everything. These are what the brushes look like, and I'm advertised on there. My AOL address is on there. My phone numbers are on my website. I'm very easy to reach, and I live in Boca Raton, 561-271-1879. I'm on YouTube and Twitter and Facebook, but it's SusanMintz.com. But feel free, anybody who wants to go in on this, I can speak about oral health. I can speak about HIV. I've been involved with this for almost 40 years, buried my husband with it, took care of him. And this is something that could go, God showed me, this could go up the state of Florida, and it could go all around the country with the right person, with the brand name behind it. Because there is dental departments in every county, and we can go through them as opposed to just freewheeling it. Because would I love to see 1.1 million people have battery-operated toothbrushes who are HIV positive? Of course. Mm-hmm. Can I not do that at this point? No. Might I be able to buy $1 million worth of battery-operated toothbrushes one day? Why not? When the movie's made, whoever's out there wants to make Committed to Love into an incredible movie, I'm waiting. But for now, I can buy hundreds.
I think for now, people out there, they hear these things, they say, oh, it's really nice, whatever. But a very simple thing anybody can do who's watching this now on a podcast or something. You can take this link and you can forward it to somebody you know who works at Arm & Hammer, who works with any kind of company that has toothbrushes, toothpaste, a distributor like the Dollar Store. If you know Dollar General. But if you know somebody who might be connected and can get the word to those people, all you have to do is take your email, put a link in, and say, have you heard about this? This would be a great idea for you guys. And that's all you have to do to just be a contributor to society and to help push this program forward. So this woman is taking money out of her own pocket and is...
Susan hasn't changed.
Anyway, now it's breaking down.
Yeah.
Seriously, she's taking money out of her own pocket, and she's making a difference in her community. And I'm not even saying you have to do that in your community. I'm just saying you must know somebody. Somebody out there knows somebody who's got the right connection to help her move her project forward. And that's all that we ask for someone to do.
And you were not paid to say that.
And I'm
Phil.
not paid to say that, and I want to get paid.
But the real thing
I usually do get paid for these.
But the thing that's the most important to me is if you don't pay back to your community first, there's no sense thinking outside your box. Because ultimately, I've spent, since 1985, Boca Raton has been my home. I have stayed here, given here, loved here. And I don't care if there's thousands of toothbrushes as in a GoFundMe page down the road, but I know that there are people out there who can make a difference. Not everybody needs a car, but you can buy gasoline for someone. Not everybody wants a house, but you could get furniture. For me, it's battery-operated toothbrushes, Colgate, Palmolive, but I said also you've got Broxident, you've got Squib, you've got Oral-B. Some dentists, even a dentist like the Clear Choice difference or Invisalign, there's dental groups out there. Just go to SusanMintz.com and click on my site. Just call me, email me. I want a person or people, every county in this state should be able to furnish their dental pay, especially with the Ryan White Assistance Program, because that means people who are lower socioeconomically, they are challenged financially, they're challenged with their immune system. There's some of the people who, and there's one more thing I'm going to squeeze in, or I'm going to take some of your time, Phil. The other thing is that I know one thing also is that it's only been going on for 2 weeks. And over 200 toothbrushes have been given out at the hygiene department. The hygienist emailed me and said, Mrs. Mintz, and even Dr. Staten, they have to account for every 100. I got another letter, here's another 103 we bought, and another 100, and there'll be another 100. But the nurse emailed me and said, she said the remarks from the patients, one went, wow, another went, cool. But the one that made the hygienist almost cry was, I've never had an electric toothbrush before. I don't think he realized there was not an electric one. It was bad, but he really looked at it as if to say, I've never had this before. How many of you out there have gone to your dentist, paid thousands of dollars for your dental work, and not even walked out with a disclosing tablet to see if you have plaque on your teeth? So this movement, campaign, passion, issue is going to keep going forward and be bigger, and it will cover the United States at some point, because there are people living with HIV going to the dentist who need all the support, help, and love they can get. And if this little toothbrush can help those people right here in Palm Beach County, well, it can go to Port St. Lucie, it can go to Collier, it can go to Tampa, it can go all over this state.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where
it's exciting.
But dental care like that is basic dental care. It's one of those things for poor people where if you let it go, as we all know, if you don't just take basic care of your teeth, then you end up with very expensive problems. And again, these people are on assistance, and if you worry about healthcare costs and people draining the healthcare system and stuff like that, then a basic concept, and the government should do this anyway, a basic concept like giving them a toothbrush should be a thing that is obvious.
Don't depend on your government.
They just had this issue in the ICE center, in the detention centers, where they weren't giving people toothbrushes, which is ridiculous. And by the way, it says battery operated. I don't know how many of you guys have these things, but I always have one in my bag. They last forever. Those batteries last for months and months and months. It really is weird. Like at a certain point, you start going, "Shouldn't this battery be dead by now?"
No,
but it doesn't take much energy.
You'll save definitely a lot of
this
money.
This toothbrush comes with the battery already in it,
and you're only using them for a couple of minutes at a time. But it's not something poor people shouldn't have. It definitely is, because It's much easier to brush your teeth. It does a much better job of brushing your teeth. And by the way, there's a link between tooth decay. All you guys should know is there's links between tooth decay and senility. That if you have gum disease, that leads to problems that spread to your brain.
We're gonna go to a commercial break. Just again, it's the Hemp Boca Show.
Yes,
we are broadcasting
back.
live from Delray Beach, Florida. And thank you, Susan. We wish you all the best with that. And we're going to
Yes.
come back with Phil Davis from philstockworld.com. Anybody in front of a computer on your cell phone, get that web page up so you know what we're heading into in about a minute. We'll be right back.
Hemp Boca. Products of purest natural ingredients and providing a safe alternative method for relief from many symptoms, creating a healthier lifestyle without the use of opioids. Use Hemp Boca products for improved mental health and overall well-being. It's safe, legal, and non-psychoactive. Our pure and high-quality CBD is from clean industrial hemp, then extracted slowly over days to produce the strongest and most effective products on the market, made in the U.S. with no synthetic ingredients. Committed to bringing our customers the highest grade CBD oil on the market. Our industrial hemp, it's organic with no solvents and pesticides, gluten-free, vegan, full spectrum, and third-party double lab tested. Our top priority is your health and wellness, and we are confident you will love our products and the amazing relief so you can enjoy the things you love to do. Try our products and start living a healthier lifestyle. Hemp Boca. Good health and good sense are two of life's greatest blessings.
Experian Travel, a subsidiary of Cruise Planners Travel Advisor, is merely a selling agency and makes no warranty expressed or implied. Each Cruise Planners is individually owned and operated. Experian Travels and Cruise Planners, an American Express travel representative, has a tremendous reputation for quality, service, and a very competitive pricing for all of your travel needs. Our travel advisors will help you discover exciting adventures around the world, from cruises to land tours and completely packaged vacations. We specialize in all types of travel and will create an unforgettable vacation just for you.
Welcome
back, everyone.
Yes, guys, it goes by fast.
I know.
That's
almost
it's
done.
crazy.
Yes,
So-
and before break, we were starting with Miss Susan Lee Mintz,
Yeah.
talking about the electric toothbrush
Campaign. yeah.
Battery.
So it's actually
battery-operated
battery-operated
toothbrushes.
Electric.
And
Battery's got electricity in it.
yeah, it's battery operated
I
toothbrushes. And you can reach Susan at susanmintz.com or also email at smintz7179@aol.com. Thank you, Susan, again for being here, and we appreciate it.
Yes.
And now we have Mr. Phil Davis from philstockworld.com. How are you?
Hi, how's it going?
Good, good. Thanks again for coming on the show. And I know you're very, very educated in many different areas, but definitely in stocks and investing. And so how things are
moving,
We do a lot of
shaking.
moving.
They're
Well,
moving
how
and
are
shaking.
things moving? Well, the market's been crazy because Trump
I
is
heard.
crazy.
Yes.
So it sort of leads into the
This is not a political show,
This is
people.
not a political show. I'm just, my job is to observe the markets and observe what's going on. And what's going on is Trump is crazy. So that's not a political commentary. That's just an observation of his mindset. So it causes a market. So Trump's craziness causes the market to go up and down because he randomly attacks this person, randomly attacks China, attacks the Fed. You know, it doesn't matter. It's just whatever happens that day, whatever he tweets sort of sets a tone for the market. And, things were going off very well, and then all of a sudden he's decided to start putting more tariffs on China. And then the reaction was terrible, and the market dove last week, and then he changes his mind and says, well, maybe not, or they back off on the statements, but then he starts going after the Fed. But going after the Fed is basically saying that he thinks interest rates are too high, even though they're incredibly low, and they should be lower, and lower rates are good for the market, so the market starts going back up again. So he's trying to find the balance, I think, between he wants to put more tariffs on China, but to do that he needs the Fed to give in and lower rates. But the thing is, if the Fed lowers rates and he puts more tariffs on China, it's going to negate the lower rates,
Right.
and then all you've done is enable him to put tariffs on China without helping anything.
Right.
And tariffs on China, contrary to what the president says, and again, not to be political, but a tariff is a tax that the consumer ultimately pays. It makes the goods coming into this country more expensive. I think it's worth talking about because, a tariff is a tax.
Right.
It's a pretty word for tax. It's a tariff. It sounds lovely. But a tariff is a tax. So when goods come into the country, like an iPhone, many iPhones come into the country, they put a tax on the iPhone, and it's now 10, 25% more expensive than it was when it left China. But that tax is being collected at the point of sale. It's being actually being collected from the manufacturers, from the distributors, so on and so forth. But it's being collected in the U.S. as it enters the country. It is not collected in China or from anyone in China. It is collected by the receiving people in the U.S. who receive their item, pay a tariff, and then either do or do not pass it on to the consumer. So either the company will make less money or the consumer will pay more money for the product. That's how a tariff is paid. It's a stealth tax on consumers. It either comes out of the pockets of the consumer or it comes out of the pockets of the business or the company that's in the stock market. So one way or another, it's hurting. And obviously, if the consumer is paying more for an item, and it's unproductive money, that's very important too. If you pay 25% more for an iPhone, but you buy 25% more iPhones, then you're putting 25% more people to work. You're making 25% more profits for the people selling the iPhones. You're making 25% more business for the cell phone carriers and so on and so forth. So if you're spending because you want to 25% more on iPhones because you're buying more iPhones, that's productive money that's being spent. But if you're paying 25% of a tax, then no additional productivity. It's the same amount of iPhones, but for more money. So all that does is rob the consumer of money they would otherwise be able to spend in the U.S. economy.
Right.
So tariffs are terrible, terrible things, and are a terrible way to conduct policy, and are very bad for the economy.
But that's happening all over the world. I mean,
Well,
I know,
that's
products
because
are being-
the effect of a tariff is the idea of a tariff is it's to discourage you from buying from a certain country. So in other words, if you buy an iPhone from China, they only come from China. If you buy it, then there's a tax. If you bought your iPhone from Norway, there wouldn't be a tax. So what the president's saying is, I don't like China, don't buy stuff from them, and if you do, you're going to have to pay extra.
What about encouraging more made in the USA products? Wouldn't that help
that's
us?
But you're not,
instead of depending on other countries to keep making products.
That would make sense if you had a tariff on everything but U.S. products. But that's not the case, is it? It's only China. You're only picking one country. There are 250 countries you're not taxing their goods and services. So what are you doing to the consumer? You're taking one thing off the shelf. Now, yes, we buy a lot of stuff from China. So you're taking significant things. All the iPhones we buy are from China. So you're basically saying buy Samsung. In fact, Tim Cook this weekend just met with Donald Trump and said, dude, you're making iPhones 25% more expensive than Samsung phones.
You're talking a tariff on a finished product, but are there tariffs on parts to create a product in the U.S.?
Yeah.
everything that comes from China.
Because that doesn't make any sense.
No, that makes even less sense.
That makes no sense.
Yeah, I'm just using that as an example. I mean, it makes even less sense.
Yeah.
The whole thing is idiotic because you're just picking on China and making their product more expensive. And that's fine. If your goal is to punish China or hurt China, great, go right ahead. That's what you want to do. But you're really hurting the consumer.
See, people, this is not always about CBD products. It's anything.
We touch base on it. Well, it does because all these things that's going on in this country, they're more stressed out, more anxieties, so they need more CBD.
And the CBD sales will increase.
Gene will bring it
Of course.
That's so true. More tariffs, more tariffs.
Gene brings it right back in there.
Of course, you need after a hard day at work, stock market or
no, it does. Everything we're doing.
You need to come home to a nice bath with our bath bombs, with our massage oils.
Everything we're doing, it all affects us.
It
impacts us one way or another.
But the problem is you get these retaliatory tariffs, and therefore when you send CBDs to China, when you try to send some lovely bath bombs to China, China retaliates by putting a 25% tax on your bath bomb, and now you can't sell it because your stuff is 25% more expensive than somebody else's.
No, they do already. I mean, I'm not sure China, but
Yeah.
I know in Thailand, all the products they put tariffs on it, and it's so expensive. Where you're buying U.S. products or Italian products.
But they put it on
They put
everything. There's a difference, so it's not anti-competitive. It just
On
drives up
US.
prices. Like Europe has what they call a VAT, a value-added tax. All goods and services are taxed about
Right.
20%. Everything.
You know, it's
There
interesting.
are no exceptions, so it's not unfair, and
Right.
it doesn't give a particular advantage to one country over another.
An interesting topic because we're working on a project which we cannot disclose at this point, and one of the questions that came up yesterday was that can you ship this way to this country because of the taxes, and so we're looking into that. But as we move deeper into this project we're working on, we're going to have to learn at each destination, each country, what are the tariffs,
Oh,
what are
sure.
the taxes, because going out of the U.S. too, there's a cost on that.
I used to consult with a company that exported garments, and they had several suppliers in different parts of the world, and they would send it out, and they would supply big department stores in the U.S., and you would have to do all sorts of little tricks to try to avoid the tariffs and so on and so forth. That you would send this here and send that to this country, and then from this country you send it to here, and it was nonsense.
Yeah.
But it's all because of
Yeah.
Trying to
tariffs
avoid,
and things like that.
right.
But the point is, the country, coincidentally, until Donald Trump became president, not that we're saying anything bad about Donald Trump,
Not at all.
but until he became president, the world was heading towards
You're a big fan.
global free trade without these restrictions, without
Right.
these tariffs. And we had a booming economy that was going gangbusters all around the world, was doing better and better. And it was because we are having the system of unified free trade and less barriers and less borders and so on and so forth. In the last couple of years, that's all been falling apart. And it could lead to a very large worldwide recession. It's a tremendous slowdown in trade.
What was interesting, right, on that phone call, it was that it may be cheaper. Like, take the massage oil. You break it down. You've got a drum of oil, you've got an empty bottle, you've got a label and a box. From what we understand, which we're still going to look into, is that it may be cheaper to ship that product separately and have them assemble it there because of the tax, instead of just sending the package
Yeah,
all
as
the way
crazy
down.
as
Fully
it seems,
packaged,
yes,
yes.
because once you assemble
Yes.
it's a finished good, and it hits a different
it's
level of
not-
taxation, whereas the unfinished pieces
Exactly.
that are assembled in the country are not considered taxable in that case.
So what's going on in NASDAQ and the stocks and the Hemp Boca portfolio and the ETFs and
Yes.
Well, the market did dip, and we kind of came in on a high when we started the portfolio about a month or so ago, and we were up $3,000 at one point. We started with $50,000, but now we're down $6,000. So as of this morning, we were down. We're going to make some changes, and I'm going to have them on the website tonight. The changes are going to be small adjustments to the positions we already have, and we're adding a position in Tenet Healthcare, which is THC, the symbol. We like it. There's a couple of reasons. You have the aging demographics, where more and more people are using the healthcare, and Tenet's they own hospitals and clinics and so on and so forth. It's a good, steady, solid business. People are always getting sick, so
Yeah.
that doesn't
good
change.
business,
There's always
yeah.
a need.
And this is not a demo. This is an actual portfolio that Phil. We thank you very much for putting it together through philstockworld.com. It's a Hemp Boca portfolio, so we're gonna have it live on the website tonight, so you can go there and click and follow it along. But
Yeah,
it's
we're
the
going to have
real
a new
deal.
trade for
Yeah.
Tenet Healthcare that I believe the base cost of the trade is about $2,000, and if all goes well, it'll make $5,000 by in I think about a year, in January of 2021. So 250% potential gain on the trade.
Yeah.
So all we need is Tenet Healthcare to just stay where it is or go up, and it'll do very
You
well.
know, Gene, you've been mentioning for a long time that there's another recession coming, and just in the last few days there were these headlines, and I think there are some people out too. I think blow things out of proportion because they want the publicity, they want you to click on their ads and stuff, and that also can scare people that are investing. But I've seen in just the last week there were about a half a dozen headlines about another recession is coming. Another recession is coming in 2021 and 2022.
brace yourself, these things like that. But it's like, they put it out there, they can fear people. They're right away now, like, pulling money out, and but maybe there is going to be a recession. But, I think it's just a little too early. But when you make those type of headlines, it's just for publicity. But you're scaring it, which contributes, I believe, to the drop in the stock.
It's to some extent it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, because if people feel good about the economy, they'll go out and spend, and they'll borrow, and they'll do stuff. And that goes for businesses too. If you're a business and you're thinking the economy's good, then you'll build an extension, you'll add something, your radio station, you buy 2 more microphones so we have microphones for everybody. If you think the economy's good and you're going to get lots of ad money and so on and so forth, you spend a little bit of money and say, okay, things are getting better. So you do things to improve your business. That then causes, obviously, some more revenues for the microphone company and wherever else you're spending money. So you have a self-fulfilling prophecy where if you think things are going to be good, they can become good because everyone's going out and spending and so on and so forth. The same is true the opposite way. If you think things are going to be bad, you don't spend money, you don't buy stuff, you don't replace things, and everything starts grinding to a halt because nobody's spending money. You don't hire people, you lay off people, you're worried about this, you rent a smaller space. And these decisions, as you make them, they snowball and they take a long time to undo. So if you decide to rent a smaller space, if you decide to lay somebody off and so on and so forth, the chance of you running right back out and hiring someone and training them and so on and whatever is very slim. You're probably made a decision that's going to take months to unwind. Right. So they both start going in and they gather steam as they move. Now, what's been going on is for the last couple of years there's been this sort of enthusiasm, possibly irrational enthusiasm, of how great America is going to be made, and people may have gone out and borrowed a lot of money. People did go out and borrow a lot of money, not may have. People went out and have now borrowed so much money. Student loan debt, $1.5 trillion. You've heard that number before. That's insane. But people are running off to college because they're sure there's going to be jobs, and so record numbers of people went back to school and borrowed money and took out loans to pay for the school, which is also at record high prices right now. So they're basically, it's something you teach people not to do in the stock market. People are doing the education market. You're going out and buying an education at the top. You're paying the most money ever for an education in anticipation, obviously, of getting it back down the road. Right? Sure, I can afford $100,000. Not $100,000. My kids are literally spending $250,000 for 4 years of school. That's where they're at. In a decent school in America. Not decent, pretty. The top of levels, but still. $250,000 for a 4-year
also depends
education.
on what they go to school for.
Right.
No, that's liberal arts. That's a 4-year bachelor's degree.
That's
if they want to go for something else, that's going to be another fortune. That's so. I don't. I really don't understand how people afford this in general. Obviously, I don't get financial aid. They look at us and go, "No, you're not getting any money."
No. Well, you can afford it, Phil.
Well,
no, we thank you so much for.
It's annoying, I tell you. There's big discrepancies between what people pay at the same school, but that's beside the point.
So we're going to continue you on the next show because we're running
out of time.
Yes,
I was just going to start bitching about college and education.
Well,
we have about 5 minutes.
But the point is, people may have overextended themselves. That's the point.
Yes, and then just let the viewers know how they can, reach out to you, get a hold of you. Yes.
All right. The first I'll say,
the
danger is people may have overextended themselves. We have a huge amount of borrowing, huge amount of credit card debt because people thought everything was going to be great. And if it turns out that it's not actually so great and people are overextended, that can really hit us hard, and you'll get that recession everyone's talking about. So,
how you can help them.
Something to brush off. How I can help
How
them?
you can help them.
PhilStockWorld.com.
You should have given us your money. That's all no. At PhilStockWorld.com, which is www.PhilStockWorld.com, we teach people how to invest, how to manage portfolios, how to pick the kind of stocks that are values in this kind of market, because there's a lot of stocks right now that are way overpriced, and again, still based on just expectations that are way too high. So you got to really separate out. You find a gem like Tenet, and you say, okay, this makes sense because of the healthcare, because of this, they're not overpriced in the market, they can certainly make back the money you're giving them for the stock. That's what you want to see, and you've got to
There you
learn
go,
how to buy
guys.
value stocks.
philstockworld.com. So go on his website and,
You'll
check
learn
him
a lot,
out.
that's for sure.
Yes, absolutely, we have. And Susan, Miss Susan Lee Mintz.
Susan,
And how?
One last
how can-
time?
Yes.
How can we get in touch with you?
SusanMintz.com. smintz7179 at AOL.com. 561-271-1879. Night or day.
And Dr. Rashida.
And Rashida Faid, my email is drfaidrashida@gmail.com, and my phone number is 561-479-8626. And if you'd like to have a retreat, you could come to my home, 395 Northwest 23rd Street, Boca Raton, Florida, 33431.
And we just wanted to correct the spelling, just to make sure. So it's Dr. That's Rashida Faid.
Yes, Rashida
It's
Faid.
RACHIDAFAID.com.
Yes, it's
That's great.
French
We appreciate you being here.
It should be an
Yes,
S.
thank you all
And,
for being
you.
here.
And again, it's the Hemp Boca Show. We broadcast live every Tuesday from 2:30 to 3:30. We want to do a shout out to the Brooklyn Cafe and Dawn and Freddie. We always appreciate everything you do for us. Thank you for guiding us and helping to make our show better every week. If you're interested in our products, go to hempboca.com. Our phone number is 561-330-5655. 10% discount in about 2 minutes. It's out. It's done. The system will automatically cancel it.
wait, we
type
have
in,
we
type
have
in
1
"Stay
minute."
Healthy" at the checkout. Go to hempboca.com. 10% off on all our products. So we had a great show.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yeah. So
Thank you so much.
Thank you. We'll see you next
everyone.
week.
See you next week.
Bye now.
Beautiful.